What we have here, folks, is footage from 1997. This is December 21st, 1997. It's some of my over 1,000 hours of footage. In this case, I took one tape. The tapes are 6 hours long, and I copied it on DVD, which can also be 6 hours. So, in a sense, I was starting to put some of the tapes on DVD. This is one of them. You can see the way it's set up. I usually been working with somebody. You know, as it got slower, because most of the time it was just me by myself. You can see how it is. It's pay on return. Now this guy's got his bag of movies there. And there we go. People don't like to wait, you know. I know that. But sometimes we're busy, you know. And she's very good. I've worked with her, I trained her, and I don't have to worry too much. If anything, they know to ask me. But like she said, if she's working by herself there, she might be a little bit. I said, if it ever happened, you know, that I couldn't work and you had to work by yourself, you just call me, and I'll tell you what to do if there's any problem. But like she said, she's fine working with me. You see how easily you can be caught up in this. Because there's a couple returns there already, and what happens, we have to pull all those movies. See? They didn't rent. People, you know, maybe on the weekend people would rent. On the weekdays they work. They don't have time. So this whole business, you can see, there's a lot of things that have to be done. See, she's checking all the tapes. Look at that, the wrong box. See it? And she knows what to do. But if you put it back on the shelf in the wrong box, you know what's going to happen. Somebody rents a movie. They get the wrong movie if we don't catch it, you know, and it has happened, you know. See? Now he's renting an adult film, which that's another thing we had. I don't know all the other stores what they had, but I think that brought people into our store. Now he left the box on the counter, and it's a big box, you know. The adult films are in big boxes, so that we have a room in the back for that. Oh, he got a tape, a box, and she's got all these returns. Mostly the new ones. See, I get that. They may not be in their numerical order. Now, if the new ones can't, you know, as they came in, they'll be more near the end of the row on the shelf back there, so I know right where to go. Some of the older ones would be in a different spot on the shelf, you know, by numerical order. Now, he's a regular customer. He rents everything. He comes in all the time. He sometimes pays late fees. He don't care. He's a good customer. You know, that's the idea. We were building up customers there. You know, we're customer friendly. A lot of times people came in, rent a movie like him. He's happy. You know. But again, she knows the people like I do because she lives in a neighborhood. As you can see, there is sound on these tapes. Now this is being filmed with a camcorder. The camcorder is up on the shelf, and I set it up to record. Now I run a cord from the camcorder to the VCR. So that way, because there's a drop ceiling there, so it's not too difficult to do. So that way it's being recorded on the VCR. And the VCR is connected to the TVs with a switch. So I could put this footage on the screen or play something else. So that's the way it was set up. We double check everything. See all them returns? If you don't get up on it, first of all, if they're new releases, most of the time just just pull the new releases. The stock films, well, if we get busy there, I don't want to be out there from the counter, you know. You see? You're getting returns, and not necessarily rentals. It depends. I mean, I talked to some of these people. I said, Frank, we all work. We can't stay in all day long looking at movies like you want us to. So I said, I know that. So a lot of people, you know, most of the time on the weekend, they would sit back and relax. Especially in the wintertime, like this. This is in the wintertime. And you know, people didn't go nowhere. You know, most of the time vacations are summertime. So we're definitely more busier in the wintertime. Especially if it snowed. Boy, if it snowed, wow, the business jumped up like you wouldn't believe. Right there. Right now it's not bad, but you can see what can happen. Like I told this girl, don't worry about the customers. If there's nobody there, we'll catch up on the movies. You can put them out. But I mostly, when I'm working with somebody, I like them to work the counter and I like them to stay there. I'll take care of the other stuff so they can get used to that. But that's the thing you have to be really good with, is that computer. That computer was very, not good, slow and all, not like today. And it was only connected to each computer. It wasn't connected to nowhere. I think the company that we dealt with, that did the programming, I could call him and he could talk me through it, you know? Whatever's wrong most of the time. Sometimes he couldn't. And we have problems there because I have to write everything down. And they don't know what to do. I know what to do. So we had to have one page for rentals and one for returns. Basically, once we put down the barcode, you know, and if the person, I said, when did you get it? They say it's overnight, and I'll put down $3. A lot of times when I finally re-entered it all, it didn't come out right. People end up owing money because they tried to get over, but when they came in to rent again, they had to pay because it was going to be on their account. So usually I would do the returns first, and then the rentals, because we were renting movies and they were returned, you know, when we rented them. So I was telling the people there to do the returns first. Enter all the returns back in the computer, you know, when the computer comes online, and then you do the rentals, because it wouldn't work. If you try to do the rentals first, that's what happens if it comes up return, you know, it's rented. The best thing, you have to do the returns first. So I knew how to do all that. But even though that computer wasn't great, but boy, without it, what a problem. Because it does have all the information of the customer, you know. It does have a history. What it didn't really do was, we didn't have we didn't have it by app or nothing like that. By Movie Star, we had to back it up every night too. For the information we have, we wouldn't lose. So it did work, you know. But when you look at that and you look at today, the way things are, that's really evolved if you look at those computers. That's one of the things. Nobody's walking around with a cell phone. This is over 20 years ago. This is 1997. December 21st, 1997. You can see I got games there. That's another thing that brought money into the store. It wasn't such a big thing, because when we're busier, it didn't matter too much. That took care of itself. It's when we got slower. The rent there was very high. So, you know, to make any kind of money there, you really got to do a lot of rentals. We were doing anywhere from, like on the weekend, 600 to maybe 800 rentals. And we have reached 1,000 rentals. If you had a weekend where it was a big snowstorm or something, I think we had reached 1,000. That's like the highest, you know. That was 800 rentals, 700. Then 300 was almost average after a while. You know, around this time maybe, if there wasn't nothing going on. But when that cable came in, it really went down. Everybody didn't have cable in the beginning. So it took a while for it to get in the neighborhood. So in the meantime, people are still renting movies. When they start staying home and can get the cable, I think they forgot. You know, a lot of people forgot that they're paying for that cable. That wasn't free. You know, what they were paying us, you know, $3, $6 for a movie. But they're paying that cable company. If they figured it out how much money they were paying, it would have been a lot cheaper to come to us, you know, and just get movies when they wanted it. But that's how it evolved, between the cable and everything. And then we end up moving from this store, from this location, to a smaller one in the neighborhood. I found a location. And we were paying here, I think it was $5,000 a month rent. The other place was only $650. It was small. I was paying more for my apartment at that time. Well, it was alright because we went, even though the business was slowed down then, but us paying so much less rent, it didn't seem like it. We were actually making more money. And plus DVDs was coming out then, and they were cheaper. Easy to handle and all. So that kept it going. Because remember, we were 2001 in this store, and we were also 2001 in the other store. We only had one day in between there to move. So we really, from that, we went to 2005. Finally, I had to close it down. It just got too slow. But if it wasn't for us moving to a smaller store, I never would have been able to stay in business that long. So with this documentary that I want to do, and it's based on this footage, like right here. I took this footage, this is in a day, like I said, it was December 21st, 1997. Now it's 6 hours on a tape. I took that tape and I copied it on DVD, so there's 6 hours on this DVD. Now I'm playing it, this DVD player I have has a small screen. And I'm playing it, and I'm copying it on the front-facing camera of my computer. And I'm talking over it now. There is sound. You can hear the sound in the background. So this is, like I said, the footage is going to be different. There's different things. I mean, it depends how busy. I work with different people. So these counter transactions is, like you say, you may not need so much footage of the same thing, but it really isn't. But you have to look at it like I'm doing now. See, nothing's going on, but I showed that people rent the movies there. They bring the box up, we get them the movie, and then they pay on return. So that's the way this store was set up. And because it was like a family store, mom and pop store, everybody knew everybody. If I didn't work there so many years, I knew everybody in the neighborhood, of course. I probably wouldn't have. If I was just going about my business and had another job somewhere else, I probably wouldn't. I know a few people. I know, you could say, almost everybody in the neighborhood. Because everybody at one time or another would come into this video store. And I worked at a video store for many years that I had to know everybody. And even once I finally closed down the store, the small store, in 2005, boy, the big thing I missed was seeing these people every day. So after that, in the neighborhood, I would see a lot of people. I still would see some of the people. And that, that was good for that reason, but that's what I mostly miss, is this interaction with these customers, Because it wasn't just like I'm a robot, I was a person that knew these people, and they felt good coming into the store. Like, they're coming to visit me, to see me, Not so much to say, coming in to give me rentals, which they did, but there was no obligation there. These are the things I want to bring out in the documentary. If this was a mom and pop video store. There's the 5 locations. I mean, here and there was like different people bought the locations, but eventually this got down to this was the last one. And then when I went to the smaller location, it was still video stores, but they were closing down. That's the documentaries that you see. If you look it up on YouTube, a lot of them were closing down. Of course, that's what they showed. Maybe it's 10 minutes or half an hour, maybe a special segment on the news about it. But it was just interviewing the owner, the manager, the workers, customers, their opinion about it. This is different, This footage shows exactly the way it was at a certain time period. I think that's what makes it a little bit different. This setup, A lot of people that came in there would still know about it. People today, people are born in the 2000s, probably didn't even never set a foot into a video store. This would be the only way they would know about the way it was. Older people like myself, yeah. They knew about it because they rented the movies, like me. I was there. So the people I waited on then are the people that would remember this. Again, this was on the East Coast, this store. And they had West Coast video, right? It wasn't just on the West Coast. There's a West Coast video right near here, right near this location. So, Hollywood video. There's a Hollywood video not too far away from there, where we are there. They were from Hollywood, maybe their basic store, their headquarters or whatever, their first store. They had stores all over. We're USA Video, but we didn't have stores over the USA, the whole USA. Well, mostly on the East Coast there, a few stores. So the name of the store, it was good. I mean, when you look at the front of that store, you saw it. I showed it with a big sign and all. You would think that was a big chain, the way that was lit up and all. but it really wasn't. So again, I'm looking for somebody out there that might be interested in working on a project. There's nothing involved really. There's no pressure. There's no nothing. If someone's interested, what you can do is look over the footage I've been posting. There's a lot of it, You just have to look. You can look on YouTube. Just look up documentary, and a lot of this is going to come up. And then you can look at it, and you can decide. You can share it. You can do what you want, save it or whatever, and maybe you can put it together from what I've already been posting. And if you can come up with a documentary, maybe you can. The creative person might be able to from just this footage that I've been putting on there. That's what I've been trying to do this, so that someone might get interested. You could do it on your own, and I don't know nothing about it, right? Because I posted it. If you put something together, and say you would maybe upload it to different companies, maybe one of them might be interested in doing a documentary based on what you already put together. So the better you could put something together, so I don't have to know anything about it. Say you're doing this on your own, you feel like doing it, and you take your time, no rush, and you don't have to go through the over 1,000 hours of footage. I said this before. We leave that. I think I have enough footage now. I'm going to keep putting, different footage as I go through it. There's probably enough out there now that you could take it and kind of put it together. There's just one I put out there that has a lot of stuff. I'm not talking over it. I am talking over the footage as I was filming it, a lot of it. I might be able to use that. But it's already got a lot of segments. I don't know if you can contact a lot of companies. Anybody might do it. Amazon, who knows? They're getting into all kinds of things, I know Netflix, they produce movies. And now even YouTube TV. They're doing it now. They might want to do a documentary. Because if it's done right, this is different. I mean, they can use this footage. Just the way I'm talking over it. In other words, if you can get somebody that wants to do it, well, then they can have all that footage. Then I'll worry about getting it to them, How many tapes divide 6 hours into 1,000 hours of footage? Is approximately how many tapes you're going to have. And I said, if I have, like this footage from 1997, I have a lot of tapes. The complete day, like this day, we'll say, from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. So I put one tape in for 6 hours. I take it out and put another tape. So there'll be 2 tapes for this day. But it depends. The daytime part might look a little different. But there's a lot of time as it's not really busy every minute. You never really know. But like I've been letting this girl, notice mostly stay at the counter. She knows I'm there. She don't worry about it. You got kids coming in. You got a lot of things. One of the things is you probably wonder why. Well, when someone comes in, we know their name. We know their account number. Most of the time, if it's somebody I don't really know, I might ask them a lot of questions. What's the address, phone number, different things. I think somebody might be trying to use somebody's account, but it really didn't happen that much. Hardly anybody ever had the card. Nobody had the card. It was one of the things that they didn't have the card because we knew them. And they knew us, so it wasn't like... Plus, if they returned a movie, we already have their information on the screen, so... So, if you notice, there wasn't much there with that too much, I had this one guy, he was asking for ID and everything. I mean, if you want to do it, do it. But it just ties everything up if you get busy, And you can see people walking around. It's not like... That store is big. Right in the front there. I've showed it already. A video of that store. The way it was. Real big in the front. Games is back there. And then you walk, there's new releases, and then all the other sections. The shelves are like at an angle. I thought about turning them vertically, straight, but then we wouldn't be able to watch as good. That's the reason why it's like that. There's stuff to go back there. I have cameras and all, but still, to go back and check, if anybody's hanging around back there. What happens if I close this door and someone's hanging back there in the back room? I don't know it. Next thing I know, they come up to the counter and rob us, You have to be very careful knowing who's in that store at all times. You really don't know. Towards the end, I have that on here when the store closes. What happens is I gotta make sure everybody gets out, don't let anybody in. The store's gotta be cleaned, all the boxes put out, the shelves straightened out, and plus I count the money. Pretty much that's it. Try to get out of there, so the next day you're ready to go. You know? Sometimes I have problems with like anything else with the computer. Gotta do settlement for the credit cards, you gotta do backup. Gotta know the procedure. Most of the time I did it, because I was working opening to close. I'm like, I've been training her to give her a chance. I said, look, I'm going to let you, I'll show you, but you can do it. And I'm here, and I'll do the other stuff. Then when you get done, I'll see how it works. We had a sheet to sign and all, you know. It was pretty good for the small business like it was. A lot of things you have to do. The drawer has to be counted. You got petty cash that's got to be checked. The change drawer, you know. Sometimes you grab change and you don't put the money in for it, you know. So you can usually, like the computer, both computers work. You use both computers, but only use one drawer for the transactions. The other drawer is for change, you know. So the change drawer is 100. As long as that's 100, doesn't matter what's in there, 1, 5, whatever. So I have a lot of responsibility there with that. Well, you can see it's pretty good now. You can see at this time of day, I would say it's about maybe 9 o'clock at night. I can look just by the hours on the tape, you know, I would know. But the way I was trying to do there was trying to copy tapes to DVD. And you know, there's a 6-hour speed. Some machines you could do 8 hours, but I'd set it for the 6 hours. I know it's going to copy the whole tape. It's going to be on a disc. That's a big difference. You could have, well, it would still be 1 disc per tape, you know, and I mark on there. I mark the date, and that's it. Now, on the disc, of course, if I'm looking at this now, and there's anything on here that I really like, I'll mark it. So if I was going to do the documentary, I would already have that done, but it's a lot of hours, you know, to put in. And I put it in, so you see me there, so you know I'm putting these hours in. If you look at all these tapes, you see me there. Well, it's that long ago, you know, already. This 20 years is like 40 because the way things have evolved, you know, with the technology, you know, and the computers and the cell phones and all the stuff that's going on. There's so much all the time. And these cell phones and all, and if you don't update them, they become obsolete now. I just noticed that. But do that, so you have to get another one. I mean, it's just so that the same with anything. Nowadays, stores like this, there may be one here and there. I don't think there's too many. What to say about this video store business? It was something back in the day, you know, because I know, I lived it, and I worked it. And I didn't think it would ever end, but it did. 2005, you know, it was a time that I just couldn't go any further. It wasn't enough to pay me, so I could work for nothing if I wanted to. I did it a lot of times in order to keep it going, but I had to get into something else, you know. I always got jobs, though. So in the neighborhood, everybody knew me, anybody would hire me. You know, I'm experienced and all, a good worker. I had no problem getting jobs, plus I was doing odd jobs. Yeah, that's the way it worked. With these returns, you know. I like when people return and rent, because that keeps the ride going. But like a lot of people you're going to see, they only return but don't rent. So you need a lot of customers, have a good customer base to keep it going, you know. People give money like, you know, $3, whatever it was. Excuse me. You can see. Yeah, this sound here. So of course, oops, as I said, I got this camera, this front-facing camera now. See, there you are. I have to reset that. It's something when you're looking. I'm looking at this now, but again, see, this is the problem with all the footage. The problem is that there's a lot of, like, I guess, dead space in a sense, like when there's nothing going on. But of course, if you're looking at the footage, you can scan ahead, see if it's real busy. It's going to be different. I mean, you know it can't be the same every day. The setup might be. And right there, nothing. This kid's at the counter. That's her son. And as far as the employees get the new releases, well, the way I had it set up, if there's a new release at the end when we close, they can have it. They can take it home. Want them to know about the movie so they can tell the customer. But the next day I told them, you got to bring it back by, at least by 5 o'clock. If you work, it's no problem. Of course, the phone. Phone is not a big thing there. You don't get too many phone calls because they want us to reserve movies, and I don't want to do it. Not new releases. Why would I want to reserve a new release when anybody will rent that? Why would I do that and somebody's on the phone that might not come in? That's what they do. They stay home and they call all the stores. And if there's a movie, then they'll go. I'm not going to do that. I tell them, we don't reserve movies, we rent movies. Tell them, come in, and if it's here, you might be able to get it, People returning movies all the time. Most of the new releases go out. But it's an overnight rental, so I tell them, you have a good chance of getting a movie here. Since they're all the same price. Which I'm glad of that. This would be more of a problem there. If somebody bought a movie and I tell them $3, they say, well, that's not new anymore. Couldn't that be less? We started that in the very beginning, but we stopped on that because we had the new releases $3, and then we had the other movies $2. So, of course, the new release, when's it stop being a new release? Well, by doing that, we left $3 for everything then. Yeah, see, we get around there a lot. I'm there a lot of hours, We're talking about, I think, Anaconda was a movie about a snake. You probably know what it was. And I used to tell people when they asked me, you got Anaconda? I'd say, yeah, we got an Anaconda movie you want. That's what I was talking about there. Yeah, a lot of that stuff with the customers. Yeah, with the movies and all. Of course, I know all the movies. Then, and you say, how do you know the movies? Because first of all, I played them in the store. And I would take them home, and I didn't look at that many movies at home. But I played them in the store all the hours I'm there if I'm busy. So I did get to know pretty much all the movies. But before they even came out, people asked me about the movies. And I tell them the best, I could. I wouldn't just say a movie's good just because I want them to rent it. I would tell them about the movie and let them decide, I told them, you may not like it, It's something to keep up on everything. Once everything's, like here you can see everything is working, when it's not too busy, I try to keep caught up on everything, at any time, yeah. People come in to talk to me, Because what the guys like work in a restaurant next door, they're always calling in there. Not necessarily get movies, and ask me about something. A lot of times they would bring me food. I didn't order it or nothing, but they say, we have food, and somebody changed their mind. Do you want it? Yeah, I'll take it. So what ended up happening, I knew the owner over there, because I go there enough. I said, do you want an account? He said, no, we don't want to. If you can get movies, I'll give you an account. They'll bring them back. The new ones the next day. I'll let it go. And it was pretty much worked out good, because you got to remember, 2 movies is $6. I mean, they're giving pizzas. I was getting pizza burgers, everything you could think of. Fries, milkshakes, everything from there. And it was all right. I didn't keep track of what they gave, but it was nice, Good for them and good for us. Because a lot of people worked there wanted to pay. I said, look, I gave it an account, and we're going to stick with it. Because if there's any problem with it, they're right next door. I can just, go over there and tell them, look, where's the movies? I can't. I never really had a problem with it.
You know why it's dead over there, Pat? Because he's a cemetery man.
Yeah, it was fun. I enjoyed it. I mean, I didn't get paid as much as I thought I should be, but I was on salary, so working all the hours, and I had to try to get out of there at night. The only thing at night I used to hate, because I only lived about 3 or 4 blocks away, but still I got to be careful, going home. A lot of times I would, leave with one of these people would be walking in basically the same direction I go, so I would walk with them part of the way, and then we would go our own separate way. Still got to be careful, You never know. Going out, when you go out on that street and it's dark at night. And I used to be going home 11, maybe midnight, because if I was doing work, in the store, or I was videotaping whatever I was doing, just had to be careful. Nothing ever happened in all the years I worked there. So nowadays, I don't know the way things are. Every time you look at the news, there's always something going on. So you can see, like the games now. We're not too busy. The girl was at the counter, she's playing the game. So. Pinball. Pinball machines were popular, probably still are, but then they were very popular. And they took in a lot of money. You'd be surprised in the course of a day. Remember, we're open 11 hours every day. They're not played, but when you add it all together, you're surprised how much money. Plus, we were getting half. I like that. And some companies didn't pay, but this company was half because they said, you're giving up the space, and you're open a lot of hours. So we decided to just go 50-50. So I'd be there, he'd dump all the money out. He counted up, and whatever it was, $100, we get 50. It was nice. A lot of times I would get the change. I would keep the change because I could always use the quarters. If he asked me, do you want the change? I said, yeah, I'll take it. That helped me also because I was getting all the quarters, from the game, and I had change. And there was bills in some of the machines. They took bills. I would get ones that would, it was good in a lot of ways, and I like them coming in every week. Like the guy told me, I'll come in every week or every 2 weeks, depending. If you're still busy, like it's been, well, I'll come every week. Don't really want to leave that money laying in the machines. But for them too, Why tie up the money? I can use it, they can use it. So it pretty much was every week. And then time they would change the game and all. I try to always get more games if I have room, and I did. There's a candy machine right there. It's to the right there. You probably can see it. It's low. It's right, like about in the center of the screen. It's a crane machine. And it's a quarter, and they can grab the candy. And usually they didn't care about that. That penny candy was cheap. And people would do it to get the candy, And you can almost get something every time, And she played the pinball. She had a little break. At the time, we about when to take a break, like right there. When anybody in the store, we're caught up with everything. You have to take a break when you can, because that's why I didn't like working by myself. Because the bathroom is in the back. And I could run in the back and have people at the counter and all, nobody's around. A lot of times I would just shut the door. Put a note up, computer down, back, come back in 5 minutes or something, then I would. Most of the time nobody came, but I had to go to the bathroom. It's a shame the bathroom was in the back like that. But that's the way it was. When we got to the other store later on, the counter in the back, I had the bathroom there. It was nice. So right there, I had the bathroom. So I didn't have to worry about that there in that store. So it was set up really better than this store in a way. It was much smaller. I have all that. I have recorded all that also. Plenty of footage on that. I remember we're at this store for, I guess you could say, 1987. We were at this store about 15 years altogether. something like that, and then the other store 5, so it's 20 years. But now it's longer than that because it's been closed already. Let's see, in 2005, it's been closed 14 years. So all this footage has just been sitting, you know. I have the tapes stored in a cool place. I have them set a certain way so they don't sag inside the case. They still work. But again, I think it's time to be doing something with all this footage. If someone has any ideas, you know. I mean, not to tell me nothing. If you put it together and make something, and you do get someone, a company that wants to do it, then contact me. Of course, I'm going to go ahead with it. I'm not going to say no. Because I know I'm going to split it. I think it's fair, 50-50, when I'm furnishing something that nobody has. I don't know what they can do with it. Maybe it's not. I don't think they can do too much with it. Well, I've been talking over myself a lot of this footage to show what can be done. Right? That again, if I'm talking over it, and I can tell you everything going on there. Now, you know, I'm not scripted what I'm saying now. Of course not. I'm just looking at the things, and I know what was going on. And plus, I have everything dated, so I know this was 12/21/1997. So that's what's on this whole thing. This is 6 hours. I'm not going to go 6 hours here. I'm only going to go, you know, until I think it's enough description here. Because I think a lot of people might listen to what I say about it, but to read the description, might not. Again, if anybody's interested, about you can do the documentary yourself. If you can sell it to a company, you know, that's going to put it out there, you know, whatever, however it's going to be done. Remember, it's something different, a little different, like I said. I don't want to keep repeating so much, but I'm doing it because maybe nobody might be your first time listening to this, so I want to make sure that you understand it. Okay. I have 1,000 hours of video store footage back in the 90s up to 2005 from two locations. So there's humming there now. You can hear it. That's feedback. With all the stuff I have connected up in the store, you can hear that humming. And that's what it is. It's just like reverb, whatever you want to call it. Okay. We'll stop it. Because I have like we'll say a 3-button switch that has an out and 3 ins. So I'll have a VCR, a camera going in, maybe another VCR, and then it goes to the TV. To all the TVs. So of course, if I wanted to show this footage right here, I could press a button and it will come on the screen. But I didn't do it. So I don't want the customer to think that we're really watching them, but you can see how it, you know, it's like anything else. Once you're caught up, you can keep it flowing like that, because you don't see too much, but there's a lot of people in there at one time, if you notice, like a bunch of customers waiting to get waited on. Not the way it's set up. It can happen, but it's on the footage. But you have to go through the footage if you want to show the busiest times. You have to say it back on through the footage. I think if we can explain this to somebody, like I'm explaining it to you, that we got all that footage that needs to be gone through to find the scenes that they want to use. A lot of it's Christmas time, it's snowstorms. I already did that with the snowstorm. I talked over it and all, but I'm shoveling the snow and all. But that was one of the big things about the video store business. The wintertime, like now, this is wintertime in December 1997, so not really busy. If it snowed, it would be. Boy, it could jump up from 200 rentals to 500 rentals, you know? That's how. So it's like, to see this footage. I mean, you're seeing, well, the computers, and everybody knows in 1997, 20 years ago, you don't have computers like you have now. The phones are computers nowadays. Everything's computers. So much. You know, to keep up with it, you know. Wi-Fi, then, I don't think We knew about Wi-Fi. It's amazing how it works, though, you know. The thing was wireless. There was wireless stuff then, not too much. You know, the remote controls for the TV, they were wireless. But now, not too much. I mean, I have remote controls for the lamps at home and all. They work. You know, it's wireless. You can see there. That's the way it was. It looks like when you're, if I say 20 years ago, it doesn't look like that. It looks like it could be more than 20 years, the way it looks. So those computers, they were, I don't know. I used them and I knew how to work them and all. Compared to today, it's so different, you know. Like I'm sitting here now. I'm working a computer, I'm talking over the computer, and I'm looking at the DVD I made. And I'm playing it to record it, so I don't know how good it comes out. Some scenes come out. When there's a lot of lights, bright, it doesn't come out as good. This comes out because it's more subdued, the setting, so. Yeah, if anybody out there is interested in doing a documentary about the video store business, I mean, what you can do is look at what's out there already. There is documentaries. Say Blockbuster, what happened, why they failed and all. But it doesn't show so much actual footage. There's some, maybe outside the stores and all. But most of it's when they closed down, when they were closing down. Like I said, they're interviewing all the people that work there. They're interviewing customers and all. Same thing can be done here. We're doing a documentary where we can get people who remember the way it was, ask their opinion, and the people that never ever put a foot into the video store. We can be interviewing people also. I mean, it's just somebody out there be interested in doing it. I mean, if you invest anything, you want to invest in it, I would say it might be a good investment. Just keep track of all the money you would spend, and if we get it produced, you're going to get all that money back. I won't get nothing. So if you gave me a cash advance, and you spent $1,000 for all the time you put in you would get that back from any proceeds. And then after that, we would split the money 50-50. So it could be done. I'm pretty sure it can be today. Speaking of computers, just by email, you know, just by uploading stuff. As far as this 1,000 hours, over 1,000 hours of footage, well, I have all the tapes here. They're all, like I said, they're all dated. If someone does the documentary, then somehow I'll ship the tapes to them. I'll get UPS or whatever, and I'll ship them. And then it becomes theirs, you know. That's part of the deal. That they can do what they want with that footage, then. They own it. I give them exclusive rights to it all, and that's it. If I'm partnered with somebody, you don't agree with it, tell me, and we'll work it out, you know. If you don't agree with the way I'm saying it now, like about, you know, well, then we can figure something out. I think the best thing is for someone to try to go through what I did so far. Contact me, and I can mail you some DVDs, you know, that I already made. There's 6 hours on a lot of them, and you could go through that footage on a DVD. Maybe you can put something together. You could do a voiceover, like I'm doing now. It's not that difficult. The only difference is I'm not making up a script. You might want to make up a script of what you want to discuss. I can just say what's going on. Like he's returning a movie, and she's punching it in, and he pays. You know? Most people knew what it was, because it come up to $3 with the tax and all. We made it that way because if not, say $2.80 plus tax, or say it was $3 plus tax, it might be $3.18 or whatever it was. You know? Too much change, handling too much. I mean, it would be like I would need so much change that to keep up with that. Because imagine $3.18. Every time someone gives me a $5 bill or 4 ones, I'm going to have to be giving them so much change. So that way, by coming out to $3 even, it made it a lot easier. So that helped a lot for everybody. They could just drop off 3 $1 bills and leave, you know, for a rental. There's a lot of things that it evolved. I mean, it could be going through from the beginning to the end, how it was. But again, I don't know. I think it can be done. Compared to what's out there already, I've already looked it up. So if you want to go ahead and look it up on YouTube, and just look up video store documentary or rentals or whatever, and you'll see there's quite a bit of material, but it's not like this. This is a little different. Because this is actual footage from 1997. I got footage from 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005. And it shows the way it was. There is 2 locations. This was the bigger location, and it shows how we downsized. We really didn't want to move from there. The only reason we moved because they were building townhouses and we had to get out. I might not have moved at that time period, but it's a good thing we did because it was slowing down. I ended up, after moving from there, still had like 4 more years, you know, in business. If I wanted to keep the store open and take no pay, I could have. But I didn't want to do it that way. I want to make sure that it was able to, you know, make enough to pay everything. So now this store got torn down in 2001, and it became townhouses there. And then the small store we had, they ripped it all out, you know, what I had for the video store, and they made it into an apartment. I think they got $1,200 for the apartment, and they're only getting $650 from us. Because they knew that we weren't making no money to pay that rent with the other bills. And that's what happened, you know, with the video store business. In reference to, I guess, mom and pop. Because I haven't come up with a title for the documentary. That's another thing. I could say the documentary of the video store business. Or I could come up and say, well, I was thinking about what title. If someone out there has a good idea for a title, because that's sometimes, just a title, sometimes it attracts somebody to do it, or for people to view it. So I was thinking of Mom and Pop Video Store. That would be kind of a title. Mom and Pop, because everybody knows what that means. That means there's not too many of them. There's privately owned stores, and not with the big chain, you know. I'm trying to do all this now, so if anybody's interested, my contact information is only going to be the email address. I could give it here, but again, I'm going to read the description. You can get it there. You can contact me by email. If you have any ideas, any concerns, we can work it all out by email, a lot of it. Plus you can call me. I'll give you my phone number and all. I mean, it's not something I'm talking to somebody now, but nobody's talking to me. So again, the only way is if someone contacts me by email. You can just tell me what you think. I get a few likes, you know, on the, on the views, a few. Because people like maybe seeing something that's back in the day, you know. And it's different, like I said. It can be recreated. Like if they were going to do a documentary, say a big company wants to make it really interesting, they could take and they could build a set like this, you know. Try to make it look like it, you know, and use that set to describe the documentary using the footage. It wouldn't be that difficult. This counter, so you can see how high it is. It's like about waist high, and it's covered with, made out of plywood with formica on the top, white, so it wouldn't be that difficult. As far as the shelving, that's nothing. The shelving, all you got to do is build those islands, and since the plywood comes 4x8, maybe put 2 pieces together on each side. You build a frame out of 2x4s, and they also come in 4-foot pieces and 8-foot pieces. So that wouldn't be that difficult to do, and then paint it blue, and you put the 2x4s the same way. They come. You're using 4x8 sheets of plywood. You take the 2x4s and you use them 8 foot with the shelves. Paint it blue or whatever. Put the shelving on with the 2x4s. Paint it again. Now they got that mirrored stripping. It's plastic. It comes in strips. I think it comes in 4-foot pieces. You just screw that on the front, and there's your shelves. So it could be reconstructed pretty easily. Carpeted floor. It wouldn't be that difficult to do to make it more interesting to say we put games in there or anything. It could be done to try to recreate that the way it was. Again, I think to show the way the interaction was with these customers, their employees. I think that's one of the things. And the way it was, the way it evolved. I mean, you're looking at something that's like, I'd say it's a part of history. Because a lot of stuff has happened during that time period in reference to technology and computers and all. From that time when the video store was going. It went for a while, in the beginning, because VCRs just came out. First it was beta. They were smaller tapes. Then it went to VHS, took over, the bigger ones. Everybody's getting VCRs back in the 80s. And that's when the video store business started out, because then the movies all came out. A lot of movies were coming out on the tape, and you needed a machine to play it. So where are you going to get all these movies? Rent them. And that's how it's basically started out. And then the DVDs came out. Then the recorders, the players and recorders came out. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that kept the business going. Biggest thing that killed it? Cable. And that was it. And I think that's about enough for now. So I think if anybody's interested, look this over. You can look up a lot of my posts about this, and maybe you could come up with something. If you know anybody that has equipment and a business that might want to do it, because I know I could hire companies to do a documentary. I tell them what I want, and I'll pay them, to produce it. But I decided, why pay when I have all this footage? I'm the one that should be getting paid. But I'm willing to go 50-50 with somebody. The part of it is for them to see if they can make a deal. Basically what it comes down to. And I'm giving exclusive rights, and again, it depends. I'd rather sell the rights to it, and then we would get royalties from it. Whoever my partner is, anything that would be done with that footage. Every time it's played, we were going to get royalties. It might be in a commercial, who knows? It might be in a movie somewhere where they made a movie about the video store was in there, and they might have used the footage. Whatever, It's something that this footage just doesn't stay here with me for all the years so far, Now this footage is over 20 years old right here. What am I going to do with it? Am I going to just keep it stocked up? Probably end up getting rid of it, because I don't want to just keep it. It's not doing nothing, I like to see it get into, people could see it, made into a really professional documentary. Have somebody do the narration. I mentioned it already, like a Samuel L. Jackson, Morgan Freeman. They do a lot of that, and they're known voices, I mean, I could do it, and then they could take what I say, make a script, and then let these get one of those famous voices to do it, and we'll see. Again, anybody out there, like I said, has any ideas about doing a documentary on the video store business, well, contact me, let me know. I'm open for suggestions. If you don't think it's a good idea, let me know. Maybe I'll just forget about it for now. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed it so far. I got a chance to talk to people out there, even though you haven't talked to me. The only way you can is by contacting me when you read the description and get my email address, and just drop me a line there and let me know. I'm not gonna keep bothering you with emails, If you tell me that ideas or something you're not interested, fine, I won't contact you anymore. So we'll leave it at that. I hope everybody enjoyed this presentation. Have a great day.